She's lying. My daddy is alive. What they found in the coffin shocked everyone. The funeral of Officer Daniel Reed was meant to be simple, respectful, and final. A polished white marble casket rested beneath a fluttering American flag. Rows of uniformed officers stood at attention. The air was thick with silence and loss. Everything was perfectly choreographed, except for one voice that shattered it all. A little girl screamed, "That's not my dad." 5-year-old Naomi, Daniel's adopted daughter, was hysterical. She clawed at the casket, her fists pounding the metal as tears streamed down her flushed cheeks. "Don't put it in the ground," she cried. "He's not in there. He told me not to trust them." Her grief was raw, but something in her voice wasn't just pain. It was certainty. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Mourners glanced at each other. Even the priest paused mid-sentence. One officer stepped forward. Officer Miguel Ramirez, Daniel's longtime partner and closest friend. "Open the casket," Ramirez said quietly. The funeral director hesitated. "Sir, we weren't authorized." I said, "Open it." 5 minutes later, the flag was removed. The latches unclicked. The casket slowly opened. What they saw inside stole the breath from everyone. The man inside was not Daniel Reed. He looked similar. Same hair, same uniform, but up close, the differences screamed out. No scar on the chin from Daniel's baseball accident. A slightly crooked nose. Hands too soft. And most importantly, the tattoo, a small Navy anchor on Daniel's wrist, was missing. Ramirez staggered back. This isn't him." Panic broke out. Cameras clicked. A woman fainted. Officers shielded the view from the crowd. Naomi stood still, eyes wide, and whispered. "He said if they tried to bury him fast, I had to stop it." Ramirez knelt beside her. "Who was following him, Naomi?" She swallowed. "He never said a name. Just, it might be someone who wears the same badge." Those words hit Ramirez like a punch. Daniel had been acting strangely before his death. He missed roll call, went silent in group chats, claimed he was working on a side case involving cartel weapons, but nothing official backed that up. And now, his funeral was a lie. Within hours, new evidence surfaced. A hidden voicemail triggered by Daniel's backup phone. A line only meant to activate if his main phone went dark, just 7 seconds long. "If you're hearing this, I was right. Don't trust the chain. Watch the guy in admin. He's not clean." The timestamp? 5 hours before his death. That guy in admin was Internal Affairs Officer Mark Dempsey, the same man who had overseen the crash scene, pushed for a fast burial, and skipped a proper autopsy at BY nightfall. Dempsey had Vantage Point 2 burner phones were found in his locker, along with a storage unit full of unfiled reports. Reports with Daniel Reed's name all over them. But the real twist didn't come from paperwork. That IT came from a knock at a ranger station 42 miles west of town at T5:42 a.m. A bruised, sunburned, mud-covered man stumbled inside, barely conscious. He collapsed at the desk. When asked his name, he whispered, "Daniel Reed." He had been alive all along. 3 days earlier, Daniel had been lured to an abandoned site under the guise of a cartel tip. What he didn't know was that the real danger wasn't the gang. It was Dempsey. Daniel had uncovered falsified reports tied to seized weapons. Ballistics from a gang shooting matched serial numbers of guns supposedly destroyed. When he told Dempsey, the man smiled and said, "I'll handle it." Daniel didn't let it go. That was his mistake, that he was ambushed, injected, stripped, and dumped beneath a crumbling building, chained to rusted pipes, left to die while a decoy body burned in his cruiser above. But they underestimated him, thought he chewed through zip ties, loosened the pipe with a rock, and crawled through a drain into the woods. No shoes, no food, just the thought of his daughter and a promise he hadn't kept. I told her I'd say goodbye. When rangers found him, he was barely breathing. But when they wheeled him into the hospital, Naomi was waiting. And when the doors opened, her scream wasn't grief anymore. It was joy, Daddy. His eyes fluttered open. His voice was hoarse, but he smiled. She had saved him. The case exploded across the nation. Dempsey was captured near the border 3 days later. Evidence linked him to at least 3 other suspicious deaths and years of corruption. 6 months later, Daniel testified before Congress. But his most powerful moment wasn't in court. It was a quiet Sunday. Beneath the tree where his funeral once took place, that a new plaque was placed in the precinct garden that it read, "A daughter's truth can save a father's life." Daniel never wore the badge again. Instead, he opened a center to support children of fallen and wrongfully accused officers. That he called it Naomi's Hope. Every day, as he walked through those doors, he remembered her voice at his grave. He's not gone. She was right. She didn't save him with weapons or power, but with something stronger, the unshakable bond between a father and daughter. If this story moved you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe for more powerful, emotional true tales. Tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We love hearing your stories. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and never stop believing.